This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit http://ddlc.moe/warning.html. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age, and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. Well, I don't really have much choice other than to agree here, don't I? Anyway, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Neosekken, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play on Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, this is a game that I've been doing my damn hardest to avoid spoilers ever since it first became a thing. What, half a year ago now, I think? I don't remember exactly when it came out, but all I know is it looked interesting, so I decided I wanted to give it a shot. So here we are. Anyway, let's go through the settings first. I have no idea how fast text speed and forward time and all that stuff is, so I will just lower it all a bit. I will also lower the music volume a little bit as well, just in case it will help you guys hear me better. Otherwise, if it still sounds too loud, I will figure out how to set it all properly by the next episode. But from what I hear in my earbuds, the music sounds a little on the quiet side, to be honest, even as it is. So I highly doubt you will have any issues hearing me, to be honest. So let's start a new game. I will go by Neo. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. What's wrong with saying hey? That's not inherently annoying. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. Oh, so you think your friend is annoying, huh? Some friend you are. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just saw an idol in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I apologize for any butchering of Japanese names that are undoubtedly going to, happen from this point onward, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little heads up, because I feel like it's an inevitability for someone like me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Yeah, you say it like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Neo. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me, after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Neo, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club. told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Eh? That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Nerd. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? Probably because deep down you do care. More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit. Even she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Yep, we get ourselves an ordinary classroom here. Nothing to see here. Like literally there's nothing to see here. No other students, no teacher, nothing on the board over there, nothing. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come to the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. What was your first clue that you were the only one around? I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. She's on to you, Neo. You don't need to weigh up for me, you don't need to weigh up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Yeah? Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. And here is the literature club I've heard so much and know little about. So that's your position in it, huh, Sayori? Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Oh, come on, man. You gotta go at least for the cupcakes. I hope they're vanilla. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. That's the mystery, isn't it? Are you just an airhead, or are you an evil mastermind plotting my demise or something? With poisoned cupcakes. I let out a long sigh. Joke's on you, you didn't specify how long. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Good boy! Yes! Let's go! Again, I hope they have vanilla. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Hey, there's worse things you can sell your soul for. Not that I'm going to give you any ideas, Neo. You know, in hindsight, maybe I should have called you something different, because, well, clearly you have your own unique personality and all that. A little too unique. Can't really call you a bland protagonist that I can act through as an audience surrogate. Oh well, YOLO. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Well, at least this board actually has crap on there. Certainly an improvement from your classroom, Neo. Hello, Girl 1. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. What are you, man-hater? Ah, Neo! What a nice surprise! Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls! Well, nice to see that, nice to see that you're starting to get a little motivation now to join this club, even if it's for rather shallow reasons. I'm not judging, though. What are you looking at? I be looking at you, number 2. If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Ah, so you're Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Or she's just short. Don't be ignorant, Neo. There are short people in the world. And there's nothing wrong with being short whatsoever. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Oh, crap. Is there, Oh, there we go. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Glad to know that we got a history option here for the text. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. I wonder, Yuri, how tall are you? You're like nearly a head above everybody. Well, maybe not Sayori, but at least Natsuki here. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. Nice to meet you, Monica. It's great to see you again, Neo. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... did I skip something? Nope. You too, Monica. Come sit down, Neo. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? Do you have Earl Grey? The girls have a few drinks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. I do wonder, though, are all of you the only members in this club here? Probably. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. How would you know? You haven't bitten into them yet. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Can we at least see a little still image of them? I'm quite curious to know what they actually look like in still image. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Come on, just bite it. Bite it, you wimp. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? Yes, and so am I. Bite it. I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. I believe that's a yes. I mean, Sayori said she made cupcakes. I mean, what, are you a little slow, Neo? Not that I'm one to talk. This is really good. Who am I kidding? I'm already shown myself to be more in tune with what's going on than you are so far. I think I've earned myself a little bit of bragging rights. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Probably every anime ever. Well, anime, tsundere, I believe that's what you are, character archetype-wise. Rough, haughty, fiery exterior, softer side hidden right behind the said exterior. Made them for you or anything. Eh? I thought technically you did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you! Dummy! Alright. Why are you acting so bashful? I mean, aren't you just meeting for the first time? I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was Yuri speaking. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? A friend. Who I don't think is a friend, but probably deep down really do think of it as a friend. It's complicated. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Makes sense. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. I don't know, passion may help, but passion does not in itself a leader make. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, when did you start this club exactly, Monika? You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Okay, so I assume fairly recent then. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Well, except Natsuki. Apparently, having a penis is a mood killer. It's okay, Neo. I won't judge you for your penis. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. Probably not. So Neo, what kinds of things do you like to read? Speaking of me, I like thriller and suspense novels, fantasy adventure. Basically stuff along those two lines, and also the occasional horror novel. That also includes cosmic horror. Although it's been a while since I read anything H.P. Lovecraft. I really need to get back into reading this stuff, come to think of it. Anyway, other Neo, I believe we have yet to learn about your interests in literature, or lack thereof. Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. Why did I not think of manga too? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Come on, are you a fan too? You can be honest. I won't judge you. And if Neo here judges you, I'll make sure to smack him upside the head. Not much of a reader, I guess. Okay, it's the judgmental kind. It's official, Neo. You suck. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. What's sad about it? Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces a rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Well, so far you and I have similar tastes in that area. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories of deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Okay, fantasy adventure, suspense, horror. I think you and I are going to be great friends, Yuri. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'm never gonna let you live that down, Neo. You are a rock from this point onward. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you? Hey, people can be interested in whatever they want to be interested in, Monica, regardless of their actual personality, whether it's endearing or straight up horrible and repulsive. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Well, it's certainly good at making me question shit, that's for sure. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? Oh, so you're a writer on top of a reader, are you? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called "Don't Say It Out Loud!" And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. You're not helping things, Sayori. I don't know her that well, but I can already tell that that's just the exact opposite of help. Saying that to her. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. What are you doing? I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Eh? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. I don't know, writing in and of itself isn't impressive. I mean, you gotta have a knack for it. Or at least a basic level understanding. Not that I would know when it comes to poems myself. I've never written one in my life. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Try me. Ah. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I'm going to take this as a no. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aww, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Do go on. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah! Let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Hey, I don't remember saying I'd sign up just yet. Isn't that right, Neo? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. Yeah, I haven't signed up. Eh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and... I lose my train of thought. I think you better get used to this, Neo, being constantly judged by these four. I pity you, you poor bastard. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Come on, at least try it out for a week or something. If you don't like it, you can just quit. And then by that point, you can at least say that you gave it a shot. But... I'm sorry, I thought... Neo... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. You're weak. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? Simple. Block them out of your mind and think. That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. For the hotness! One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Neo, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Why am I getting a bad feeling right now? I don't know why. I'm getting a bad vibe. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. You and me both, buddy. And I can't even... And I haven't seen anything overly disturbing yet. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Neo, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! You enjoy the simple pleasures in life, don't you, Sayori? I can respect that. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. Also, I gotta say, this looks like a nice neighborhood. There's absolutely no trash whatsoever, so clearly everything is kept nice and pristine. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? That's the question, isn't it? You seem to be enjoying just for the superficial shit, so I'm sure you'll do just fine, Neo, if you focus on just that. Me, though, I'll be looking beyond the surface level stuff. Because unlike you, I am not a surface level, unsophisticated, non-reading little twit. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh yeah, I forgot, you're also a rock. Hello. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Oh boy, a multiple choice thing, huh? Well, as I said before, when it comes to my actual reading interests and any of these other characters, mine align with Yuri's the best. And although to be fair, we haven't really discussed any of the other characters' interests in reading, save for Natsuki's disliking of horror and her interest in poems. So, okay. Now I'm trying to think. What would you like, Yuri? I don't think you'd be a strawberry. Well, I know you like horror. Who would like sticky out of you three, though? Waterfall. Unrestrained. There we go. We got 2 in a row with you. Amazing. Crap, I thought that'd be for Yuri. Vitality, misfortune, flower. I'm gonna take a gamble and say precious. Damn it! Now we're tied with you two. Crap. Extraordinary? Okay, this is not going well. Incongruent. There we go. Now we're tied with you two. Melancholy. Okay, we are back in the lead with Yuri. I have a feeling that Sayori would like boop. Effulgent. Okay, so I think you seem to like more obscure words that are not used in our modern everyday lexicon. So, at least I think that's the term for it, lexicon. Heaven sent? There we go. Judgment, family, passion? Okay, not that. Definitely not that. Who would like suicide out of you three? Well, I would think that being the cook, Natsuki would like parfait. Destiny? Would you like destiny? Oh crap! I clicked 2. What did I click? Philosophy? Okay. Variance. I'm going to go with variance. There we go. Intellectual adventure. Crap. I mean, come on. She likes adventure. Brain cloud? Nah. Tenacious. There we go. Determination. There we go. Memories? Oh dear. We're getting... Alright, moment of truth. Let's see. I'm going to go with eternity. Okay, we scored. Hi again, Neo. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least kept my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Neo. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Yes, ma'am. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. So you are a fan! That's at least one area you and I can get along in. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Technically, yes, it is. So, Natsuki is the winner. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. You didn't get defeated. You won that argument. Don't worry, guys. Neo always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? Block that out of your memory, I assume. Not that I blame you. That's probably the sort of thing I'd want to block out of my memory too. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I don't know. Yuri seems to have mixed feelings with her. Stop being so mixed, Neo. Either be like vanilla or chocolate, one or the other. You either like her or you don't. I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Neo can become good friends too. Yeah, exactly. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh! Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Ooh, what'd you bring me? Wait! Sayori! Eh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. Is it more cupcakes? Were you inspired by Natsuki's cupcake? Were you inspired by the supposed goodness of Natsuki's cupcakes that you were inspired to make your own just for poor Neo here? Although, realistically speaking, it's probably a book of some kind. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal and it's really not. What do I do? Eh? Sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Yeah, if nothing else, I'll take it, whatever it is. I always appreciate gifts. Is that so? I wonder if I'll regret that line later on. Someone tells me I just might. Hello. Again. YOLO. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. Called it. Now the question is, what kind of book is it? I'm going to place a bet that it's a horror book. Because you did mention, Neo, that you read a horror book once, and, well, I know that, according to you, Yuri, you've been reading quite a bit of horror lately. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. It's like she knows that Neo has a short attention span. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does. But either way, how thoughtful. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. If it's a real book, then, well, chances are I probably haven't read it. Because, you know, I don't think I've ever read a whole lot of actual Japanese literature, come to think of it. Please be something Western. That way I'll probably have an actual shot of having read it. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yeah, Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. Good boy. You should always be thankful in situations like these. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to come to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Okay, I mean, I know the whole point of this club is to, just discuss and probably research literature and all that, but I do assume that, your school would prefer that you actually do some actual club activities during, the appropriate hours. I mean, having, homework assignments essentially is a start, but I don't know. I don't know how your schools run and how lenient they are about this stuff. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. Aww. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah. She caught you peeping, boy. You better own up to it. Crap! I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks out a glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... Okay, you already read it then. That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. You wanted to just refresh your memory on it so you could basically have it all fresh in your mind when Neo reads it so you can discuss it easier. That's gotta be it, right? Hey, it's a pretty smart thing to do, really. Just curious. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... That's not what I meant. I mean... I... just happened to buy two of them. Then you already read that book in a single day then, huh? Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. Probably a good decision. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Well, how about that? It's raining outside. Pardon any thunder that you might hear, ladies and gentlemen. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. I wonder if that's a real book. Alright, sorry about that. Thought I heard something different besides thunder. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so... Hey Zeus! I'm in the middle of a recording. Save it for later. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. Oh? And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. Yuri, I think you're starting to majorly spoil some stuff. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Is this some foreshadowing for what I'm going to experience as I continue to do activities in this club, I wonder? Is this a sign from the heavens that I should leave now with my moral soul intact while I still can? Well, then again, it's not my moral soul on the line, but rather Neo's, isn't it? If that's indeed the case. So hop to it, Neo. You might be in mortal danger. You might want to run. Probably not going to, though. You're probably just going to keep going headlong into this, all just for the chance to probably date one of these three ladies. Well, yeah, 3, because we only got 3 presented for that little poem thing. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Neo? Well, I kind of am. But Neo, on the other hand, I guess he's not. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. I don't know. Hey, come on, man. It's just reading. I mean, just because she's into reading some dark stuff doesn't necessarily mean that she herself is a dark-minded individual. There's probably a more eloquent way I could have said that, but I'm not really going to just sit here trying to think of more fitting words to describe Yuri's mind here. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you were related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. So you tend to root for the Empire then, huh? I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. What problem? When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, you get chatty? I mean, hey, I can relate, believe it or not. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. You seem very apprehensive about being honest with your thoughts on certain things, Yuri. Is there something you're not telling me? In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Oh, come on. I definitely have to. You went to the trouble of buying me the thing, so I should. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. That's interesting. I mean, you were part of a literature club. I mean, and supposedly all you are very interested in, literature, so don't you all just sit together and read? Or talk? Something? Well, I'm sure you talk at least, but I mean, it would make sense if you actually read together, but apparently you don't. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I think we're in the double digits in terms of apologies at this point, if not, we're pretty damn close to it. I don't know, I'm not keeping track. But you do apologize a lot. I definitely noticed that. I don't really mean to. Sorry. Another one, ladies and gentlemen. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that kind of makes it difficult to turn the page. Here. Finally, we get some CG artwork of one of the characters. It's pretty nice, I'll say that much. Yuri takes her left arm and holds left side the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held even closer together than before. I bet you like that, don't you? It's actually kind of distracting me. Yeah, I know you. I can read you like an open book. Pun intended. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Ready for what? To turn the page. Sorry. Now it's my time to apologize. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second-guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Neo, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that... Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? He's saying that it's cute. It's okay. You can run. I mean, that's typically how these sort of exchanges go in anime land, right? Okay, everyone. Actually, I think that only... Thinking about it some more, I think that only occurs in about 40 to 50%. Probably leaning closer to 40. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Alright, let's see how this poem turns out. Assuming they'll actually let us see something, that is. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on the wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, since I went to the trouble of making it to be most to Yuri's liking, we're going to show it to Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Holy crap, I passed. Hell yeah! Eh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. I don't know. Her whole face doesn't look all that covered to me. Half so. Maybe if that blush got a little bit bigger. He's going to hate me. Impossible. What's there to hate about you? You haven't given me a reason to legitimately hate you. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? I wouldn't know. I mean... Wait a minute, what? It's just a bunch of random words. I mean... Where am I? I don't even know where I'm going with this. Never mind. Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant... Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. I don't know, you seemed very apprehensive about the idea before. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. You are definitely a melancholic person, aren't you? At least I think that's the word that best describes that whole poem. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. That was not terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Neo. No, it's about a street lamp. Really? Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you only did glance over it after all. He glanced over it, I did not. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. So I was more or less on the money with my interpretation of that poem. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? You sure like saying eh quite a lot, I noticed. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. So, nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Neo. Me too. So, I'm just basically going to show my poem to everybody then, huh? Well, I think I will continue showing my poem in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to try to keep the episode lengths from anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half long on average. So that way it's not too long. Because even though it's a visual novel and we're progressing at a slow and steady pace, because of that, I don't want the episodes to be too long, I guess. Don't want to keep you here all day, after all. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you enjoy the hour to hour and a half long format. I'm trying to think here what would be the best time period to do this with, and my gut feeling honestly tells me that would really work best for everybody. But yeah, this is certainly an interesting experience so far. I'm quite curious to see where the rest of this goes. And we will continue showing like I said, we'll continue showing my poem to everybody in the next episode. So, yeah, if you like this episode and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next time. Take care.